In the gritty underbelly of 1990s New York City, where the AIDS crisis still cast long shadows over the queer community, Nathaniel Harper was a man fighting his own demons. At 32, he had clawed his way out of a conservative Midwest upbringing, escaping a family that disowned him the day he came out as gay. He landed in Brooklyn, working as a social worker in the foster care system, a job that paid pennies but fed his soul. Nathaniel had seen too many kids discarded like yesterday's trash, especially those who didn't fit the perfect mold. LGBTQ plus youth were the hardest hit. Bounced from home to home, labeled troubled or deviant. They often ended up on the streets, vulnerable to predators and despair. One crisp autumn morning in 1995, Nathaniel's life changed forever. He was at the Manhattan Child Services office, sifting through files, when his colleague, Maria, slid a thick folder across his desk. These 5? No one's touching them. Too many issues, they say. But Nat, you've got that big heart. Maybe you could advocate. The folder detailed 5 boys, ages ranging from 8 to 14, all identified as potentially queer or gender nonconforming, though the system danced around the labels. First was Alex, 14, a lanky kid with sharp features and a history of running away after his parents caught him kissing a boy at school. Then Jordan, 12, who preferred dresses and makeup, enduring beatings from foster siblings who called him a freak. Miguel, 11, orphaned by AIDS that claimed his 2 dads, now silent and withdrawn. Tyler, 10, hyperactive and defiant, expelled from 3 schools for disruptive behavior that masked his confusion about his attractions. And little Jamie, 8, the youngest, with big brown eyes and a stutter, abandoned at a shelter after his mom overdosed, whispering about liking boys in his drawings. No family wanted them. Straight couples balked at the risks, and even some queer fosters hesitated, fearing the stigma. But Nathaniel? He saw himself in each of them, the isolation, the rejection. He wasn't rich. His 1-bedroom apartment was a shoebox. But he had love to give, forged in the fires of his own pain. After months of paperwork, therapy sessions, and home visits, he became their legal guardian. It wasn't adoption yet, that would come later, but it was a start. The first night they all crammed into his place was chaos. Alex sulked in the corner, arms crossed. "Why'd you take us? Pity?" He spat. Jordan hid in the bathroom, sobbing over a torn dress. Miguel stared blankly at the wall. Tyler bounced off the furniture like a pinball, and Jamie clung to Nathaniel's leg, whispering, "Dee, don't send me back." Nathaniel knelt down, eye level with Jamie. "Kiddo, this is home now. For all of us." He cooked spaghetti that night, the sauce splattering everywhere, and they ate on the floor picnic style. Laughter trickled in, tentative at first, then genuine. It was the beginning of something fragile but real. A family born not of blood, but of shared wounds. Years rolled by in a blur of challenges. Nathaniel quit his job to freelance as a writer, scraping by on grants for at-risk youth. He enrolled them in therapy, fought school bullies, and navigated the boys' emerging identities. Alex came out first, bold and unapologetic, dating a classmate named Ryan in high school. Their first kiss under the Brooklyn Bridge was a milestone Nathaniel celebrated with ice cream, though his heart ached remembering his own stolen moments. But conflicts brewed. In 2000, when gay marriage was still a distant dream, Nathaniel met David, a charming lawyer from Queens, also gay, with a passion for civil rights. They fell hard, fast. David moved in, becoming a co-parent figure. The boys adored him. He taught Alex to box, helped Jordan with makeup tutorials, read to Miguel, played catch with Tyler, and sang lullabies to Jamie. Yet, beneath the surface, tension simmered. David wanted biological kids, whispering about surrogacy. "These boys are great, Nat, but they're not ours by blood." Nathaniel bristled. "They are ours. Blood doesn't make family." The argument festered, especially as the boys hit puberty. Alex's relationship with Ryan ended in heartbreak when Ryan's family moved away, leaving Alex spiraling into depression. Jordan faced transphobia at school, coming home with bruises. Miguel discovered his bisexuality, confiding in Nathaniel during late-night talks. One evening, as the family gathered for dinner, Tyler exploded. "Why do we have to hide who we are? Everyone at school calls us the fag family." Tears flowed, and Nathaniel pulled him into a hug. Because the world isn't ready, bud. But we'll make it ready. David, however, grew distant. He started staying late at work, his phone buzzing with mysterious texts. Nathaniel suspected an affair but buried it, focusing on the boys. They were thriving in small ways. Alex got into community college on a scholarship. Jordan began hormone blockers with Nathaniel's advocacy. Miguel joined a queer youth group. Tyler excelled in soccer, and Jamie's stutter faded as his confidence grew. But the betrayal hit like a freight train. In 2005, on the eve of adopting the boys officially, Nathaniel found David's suitcase packed. "I'm leaving, Nat. I can't do this anymore. The chaos, the judgment, it's too much. I met someone. Normal." Nathaniel's world cracked. Normal? After 10 years? You promised forever. David walked out, leaving Nathaniel to face the boys alone. "Where's Dad?" Jamie asked, using the term they'd adopted for David. Nathaniel choked back sobs. "He's gone, kiddo. But we're still here. The adoption went through, but the scar remained." Nathaniel poured everything into the boys, his own heart on hold. He dated sporadically, but no one stuck. The family bonded deeper, their love a shield against the world. Little did they know, decades later, that love would echo globally. By the 2010s, the boys were young men, scattered across America but tethered by unbreakable bonds. Nathaniel, now in his late 40s, had turned their story into a blog, Unwanted No More, chronicling their journey. It gained traction in queer circles, offering hope to struggling families. But success brought scrutiny. Alex, 29, had moved to San Francisco, working as an activist for LGBTQ+ rights. He met Ethan, a fellow organizer, and their romance was fiery. Protests by day, passionate nights under the Golden Gate. "Nat, he's the one," Alex confided over Skype. Nathaniel smiled, but worry gnawed. Alex's intensity often led to burnout. Jordan, 27, now identifying as non-binary and using they/them pronouns, pursued fashion design in Los Angeles. They dated sporadically, but a toxic relationship with a manipulative partner, Chris, drained them. Chris belittled Jordan's past. "You're lucky I look past your freak family history." Jordan hid the abuse, fearing Nathaniel's intervention. Miguel, 26, settled in Chicago as a therapist, specializing in queer youth. He fell for Sophia, a woman, and later Carlos, a man, embracing his bisexuality fully. His wedding to both in a polyamorous ceremony was a quiet affair, but Nathaniel attended, beaming with pride. Tyler, 25, became a pro soccer player in Seattle, out and proud. His boyfriend, Mark, a coach, supported him through injuries and media storms. But fame brought haters. Death threats poured in after Tyler kissed Mark on national TV. Jamie, 23, the baby, studied journalism in Boston. Shy but brilliant, he crushed on his roommate, Ben, but feared rejection. "What if he thinks I'm weird, like everyone else?" he asked Nathaniel. Nathaniel, graying but vibrant, lived in the same Brooklyn brownstone, now expanded with book royalties. He dated sporadically, but his heart guarded. Then came Lucas, a kind-hearted teacher from Harlem, 50, with a gentle smile. They met at a pride event. Lucas's touch reignited Nathaniel's fire. "I've waited my whole life for someone like you," Lucas whispered on their first date. But as love bloomed, conflicts escalated. In 2015, during the Obergefell versus Hodges ruling legalizing gay marriage nationwide, the family reunited in D.C. for celebrations. Joy turned sour when Jordan arrived with bruises. "Chris hit me," they confessed. Nathaniel raged, flying to L.A. to confront Chris. But Jordan begged him off. "I can handle it." Betrayal struck again. Alex discovered Ethan cheating with a colleague. How could he? After all we've fought for. Alex's call to Nathaniel was gut-wrenching. Nathaniel drove cross-country, holding Alex as he sobbed. "Love hurts, son, but it heals too." Miguel's poly relationship faced backlash. Conservative clients boycotted his practice. Tyler's team benched him after a scandalous tabloid leak. Photos of him and Mark at a club. Jamie came out to Ben, only to be gently rejected. "I love you as a friend, Jamie." The climax hit in 2018. Nathaniel's blog went viral after a TED Talk, Raising the Unwanted, a gay dad story. Media swarmed. But David resurfaced, now a prominent lawyer, suing for defamation, in Nathaniel's posts mentioning their breakup. "You painted me as the villain," David claimed in court documents. The trial in New York was brutal. David testified, "I left because Nathaniel prioritized those kids over us. They weren't mine." The boys, now men, took the stand. Alex's voice shook. "You were our dad too, until you weren't." Jordan wept. "You taught me to be myself, then abandoned us." The courtroom drama exposed raw emotions. Nathaniel's lingering love for David, the pain of rejection. Nathaniel broke on the stand. "I loved you, David, but these boys, they're my everything." The judge ruled in Nathaniel's favor, but the victory was Pyrrhic. Media frenzy labeled them America's broken queer family. Lucas stood by Nathaniel, proposing amid the chaos. "Marry me, Nat. Let's show them love wins." They wed in Central Park, the 5 boys as groomsmen. But shadows lingered. Jordan left Chris, but the trauma scarred. Tyler retired early, disillusioned. Jamie found love with a fellow journalist, unexpected and sweet. Through it all, their bond deepened. Family vacations in the Rockies, holidays in Brooklyn, moments of pure joy amid pain. Nathaniel's health faltered. A heart scare in 2020 forced reflection. "I've given you all I have," he told them over Zoom during the pandemic. "And I'd do it again." The 2020s brought a reckoning. With the world locked down by COVID, the family scattered but connected virtually. Nathaniel and Lucas hunkered in Brooklyn, Nathaniel's blog evolving into a book deal, Unwanted Love, a memoir. It climbed charts, drawing Hollywood interest for a film. But fame amplified betrayals. In 2022, Tyler's ex, Mark, sold stories to tabloids. Inside the dysfunctional Harper clan, lies twisted facts, claiming Nathaniel favored some sons, that drugs and abuse riddled their home. Tyler confronted Mark. "You were my everything. Why?" Mark sneered. "For the payout. Your family's a goldmine." The scandal rocked them. Alex, now a nonprofit director, faced donors pulling out. "They think we're frauds," he lamented. Jordan, thriving in fashion, saw collaborations cancel. Miguel's practice suffered. Patients questioned his stability. Jamie, a rising reporter, got demoted after bias accusations. Nathaniel felt responsible. "This is my fault. I put us out there." Lucas held him. "No, love. You gave hope to millions." The family rallied, suing Mark for defamation. In court, Tyler testified through tears. "He betrayed my trust, my love." Victory came, but trust shattered. Romantic entanglements deepened the drama. Alex rekindled with Ethan, forgiven but wary. "Second chances, right?" he said. Jordan met Riley, a supportive artist, their love blooming in LA's queer scene. Slow dances at underground clubs, whispered promises under palm trees. Miguel's polytriad faced a crisis when Sophia wanted kids, but Carlos hesitated. "I love you both, but family means everything," Miguel said, echoing Nathaniel. They navigated therapy, emerging stronger. Jamie's relationship with his partner, Liam, was tender. First dates in Boston Common. Shared dreams of a future. "You're my safe place," Jamie told him. Nathaniel's marriage to Lucas was a beacon. They traveled to Provincetown for anniversaries, holding hands on beaches where queer love once hid. But Nathaniel's past haunted. Dreams of David plagued him. "Do I deserve this happiness?" he asked Lucas one night. High drama peaked in 2024. At a family reunion in Nathaniel's brownstone, secrets exploded. Alex admitted a one-night stand during a rough patch with Ethan. "I was lonely," he confessed. Ethan walked out, but returned, forgiving. "We're human." Then Jordan revealed a relapse into self-harm, triggered by Chris's ghost. "I thought I was over it." The family encircled them, tears flowing. Miguel shared his own struggles with depression post-AIDS loss. The ultimate betrayal came from within. Jamie, in a heated argument, blurted, "Sometimes I wish you'd never adopted us. Nat, look at the mess." Silence fell. Nathaniel's face crumpled. "Is that how you feel?" Jamie regretted instantly, hugging him. "No, Dad. You're our hero." But the words lingered, forcing introspection. Amid turmoil, romance flourished. Nathaniel and Lucas renewed vows in a quiet ceremony, the sons witnessing. Through betrayal and pain, love endures, Nathaniel toasted. The world began noticing. The memoir's film adaptation, starring an A-list gay actor as Nathaniel, premiered at Sundance. Reviews praised its raw humanity, a testament to queer resilience. Interviews flooded. The family appeared on talk shows, sharing stories that moved audiences to tears. Yet, personal highs met lows. Tyler, single again, found solace in coaching queer youth soccer. Passing the torch, he said. But a health scare, Nathaniel's second heart attack, united them. In the hospital, they gathered, hands linked. "Don't leave us, Dad," Jamie whispered. Nathaniel recovered, vowing to live fully. The family started a foundation. Unwanted No More, funding adoptions for LGBTQ+ kids. Their love, once private, became public inspiration. By 2025, as Nathaniel turned 60, the family's story had transcended personal bounds. The film won Oscars with Nathaniel's acceptance speech going viral. "We were the unwanted, but love made us unbreakable. To every queer kid out there, you are wanted." Decades of trials forged unbreakable ties. Alex and Ethan married in San Francisco, adopting 2 kids of their own. "Full circle," Alex said, Nathaniel walking him down the aisle. Jordan and Riley launched a gender-inclusive clothing line, celebrated at New York Fashion Week. "For the misfits," Jordan declared, dedicating it to Nathaniel. Miguel's family grew. Sophia and Carlos welcomed twins via surrogate. "Our modern family," Miguel beamed, Nathaniel cradling the babies. Tyler founded a sports academy for LGBTQ+ athletes, partnering with pro leagues. "No more hiding," he proclaimed. Jamie and Liam tied the knot in Boston, their wedding a joyous affair. Jamie's toast, "Dad, you taught us love isn't perfect, but it's worth it." Nathaniel and Lucas retired to a Catskills cabin, but Brooklyn remained home base. Health stable, Nathaniel wrote a sequel memoir, focusing on forgiveness. David reached out, apologizing. "I was wrong. You built something beautiful." Nathaniel forgave, closing that chapter. Conflicts resolved humanely. Past betrayals became lessons. Mark's scandal led to privacy laws advocacy. Chris's abuse inspired Jordan's anti-violence campaigns. The climax of their legacy came at the 2030 World Pride in New York. The family, now with grandkids, led the parade. A float depicted their journey, from unwanted boys to global icons. Crowds cheered, signs reading "Harper Family, Love Wins." But the ending was bittersweet. In 2035, Nathaniel's heart failed for good. At his bedside, the 5 men, now in their 40s and 50s, held vigil. "You saved us," Alex whispered. "And we saved each other," Nathaniel replied weakly. His funeral drew thousands. Activists, celebrities, everyday queers. Eulogies poured. Nathaniel showed us family is chosen. Love is revolutionary. Decades later, in 2050, the world still witnessed their love. Grandchildren carried the torch, queer rights fully realized, but remembering the fight. A museum exhibit in the Stonewall honored them, the Unwanted 5, pioneers of queer family. The story ended not in tragedy, but humanism. Love's imperfections, betrayals, pains, made it profound. In America's evolving tapestry, their bond proved, from rejection blooms the deepest connection. In quiet moments, the brothers gathered at Nathaniel's grave, sharing stories. "He'd be proud," Jamie said, and in the wind, they felt his embrace. A legacy of enduring humanistic love.